Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of the League of Inches podcast. What is it, Wednesday night? Week is flying by at the moment, so that means one thing, guys. Supercoach, we are back for another week, and it's our final positional preview, which it means one thing. It means we're 1 week closer to revealing our teams, which is always a massive episode. I know you're all very keen to see our almost official first round teams leading into Vegas, which would be really cool, but tonight we've tackled every other position so far. So if you haven't already, go on over to just scroll down either your YouTube or wherever you're listening to your podcast. Check in on the other positions. But tonight is the big dogs. So front row forward and second row forward as well. So very happy to be getting into those. There's plenty of talking points. Obviously, the new point scoring system. We're still getting used to it. It's been a couple of weeks now, but everyone's still getting used to it. Jesse's been very hard at work over the last few weeks, just trying to get some numbers worked out. And the fine points, I think a lot of places now sort of are getting it. So it is making it a little bit easier, but we're still, I feel like, Jesse, we're still all over the shop in terms of no one really quite knows what is going on. And the set structures for a lot of things still, and we're, a week and a half or something away from the first couple of games kicking off, which is a bit weird. But Jesse's along, Trav's away tonight. But how are you, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, you're right about that too. Like trying to just get your head around a lot of things. We've spoken at length about so many of these updated numbers, and this is one of those pods where we're going to get into probably the most beneficial position for those increased numbers. So, we can sort of go straight into it if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll get basically what I'll do is just quickly I'll go through our Supercoach overall competition and just quickly thank to the sponsors. So Caxton Street Brewing Company, major sponsor. We are literally a week away from basically the season kicking off. So make sure you head down there, whether it's on game day or whatever, go and watch on the weekend and watch a few games. Tell us we sent you. They'll make sure they look after you as well. And Con and the team from Freedom Finance Group. So again, guys, any sort of financial needs that you do have, please make sure you reach out to Con. There in the show notes, you will see a link. Press that link, and again, he will look after you, knowing that you are from the League of Inches community. I know a few of you already have done so, and there's been fantastic remarks and feedback from their experience from both sides of it. Con absolutely loves it. Gets to talk a bit of footy. He's a dog supporter, so don't hold that against him. And all you guys are saying it's fantastic. He's easy to talk to and things like that as well. Our Supercoach overall comp. So once again, if you're a legend member of our Legends group, so it's a Facebook dedicated group, $500 prize money. If you're not, and it's you're just a general member of the page follower, $250 cash prize donated by the page. And just our tipping comp, finally, NRL tipping comp via ESPN app. So basically most have an app these days. Download it if you haven't. And thanks to bets.com.au, it's $500 prize money. To join it, just go to the password LOI, capital letters. That'll take you through, and you can take us all on, including the Supercoach overall as well. You'll take on all us League of Inches boys, and we will get into it. Thanks as well to Supercoach Rings, who have donated a championship ring to both of those competitions for the winner. So you're playing not just for cash, but one of those big, chunky Supercoach rings, which looks awesome. I'm very jealous every time I get them. I already get them, and then I have to hold on to them, and then at the end of the year, I have to ship them out. I get a bit upset because I'm like, damn it, I actually really wanted one of those. So.
Win one. I've got one.
Yeah, I was going to say Jesse's got one. So
heck yeah, I do.
Flaunts it around.
It's heavy. It's chunky. It just looks so hot, man. It's a weapon of a thing. I love it. But yes, I'm very proud to have one.
He does. Well, you got yours from the Creators Cup, didn't you?
I won the Creators Cup in the first year it ran, which was where I got this one from.
A little bit more.
That was Division 1 draft title, and this little guy here was Division 2 draft title. So I think it was from Division 2. Oh, sorry, it was Division 1, second year running. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got the ring.
Div 2, guys. He's
not Div 2, no. Div 1 back to back, just in case anyone forgot. Yeah, no, I think I got it from that one. But I was surprised too. I didn't expect to see it, which was awesome, opening up the box and having, this cool little ring box. I was like, what is this? Why is it so heavy?
It's well done, mate. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
So
I
jealous.
love it.
Winners win, I guess. So, and that's not me. Anyway, let's get rip and tear straight into this one. Because like you said, there is probably a few more people to talk about in both positions than we have done, especially last week. We scooted through the playmakers. So front row forward, let's go from ownership percentage. So at the top is Payne Haas, 57% owned. 852K ownership. I'm just get him in, really. Like, it's just a no-brainer, I feel like, this one, Jesse.
Yeah, this is the easiest 852K I've spent.
Yeah.
On a player this season. I don't think there's a world I don't have him. I know there's a lot of conversation and team building anti-Haas going against it because he's so expensive. I just don't think it's worth it. Genuinely, I just think realistically, like we looked at him last year, he started at 767K, 104, 99, 140 in the first 3 rounds. I didn't start with him last year, but I traded, and I never do it. I always wait till round 3. I traded in round 1, and I said, I got to have this dude. There's something different this year about Haas, and he was a round 1 trade for me. Copped the 99 straight after, enjoyed it. Got the 140 and straight after, and then price rise, all the way up price wise. He at the lowest point of the year, he got to 663. It took till round 23 for that to happen, and that was post Origin. Low minute games, a couple of rests here and there. But he was very consistently above 800 all year. Like he's 850. You're going to get 80s minimum, I would say, or minimum 70, which, look, if you go 70, 70, 70 in the first 3 rounds, he's going to drop 40K, give or take. You know what I mean? It's not a lot and that's the thing, you're getting 70s. It's still a very good score. It's still better than pretty much every other front rower, realistically, that not named Terrell May. Yeah, look, I think it's very easy to do, and you're going to feel good about it. Plus, the ownership is so high, 57%, and he's a captain option as well, especially early on. We know that, I'll just backtrack a little bit too with this stat update, because we didn't kind of get into too much. Obviously, with the points change, I spent years before Supercoach playing the code we do not name, where NRL's getting their stats, which the other one, I'll say fantasy uses NRL stats. Always has, always will. Very base heavy. More tackles rewarded, less tackles missed. Obviously, the assist, the try contribution side of things that Supercoach run with, the line break assist, we spoke about that in the last episode. This is more base numbers. This is more sort of heavy in the tackles. Haas is everything for this format of scoring. The extra tackling, the runs as well. The runs is going to be a big thing. I don't really know yet how it's going to sort of translate, but we know Haas runs his freaking ass off. That's not a concern. He's going to get more tackles. He's going to miss less. Perfect. He's going to probably get a few points an upgrade bump. Like just thinking about what would have happened last year, he would have averaged over 90. So, technically going off last year, he's underpriced, maybe 50K. Yeah. And, you're sort of weighing up trying to get him in early. I think you just get him, go with the pack. It's not one to any pod. If he goes bad, 57% of all players don't have him. Don't have him performing well.
Yeah.
The ones that get off are probably going to get punished at some point. So, yeah. Been a long time on Haas. I think he's a must, for sure.
Relevant, though. Relevant. And if he gets an early injury or something, he's out for a number of weeks and you end up trading whatever, you basically downgrade it and it frees you up a fair bit of cash. So you set yourself up really nicely in that position. So
yeah.
I think you start with him so you protect yourself. And then if the very, very worst case scenario happens and it's a long-term injury or whatever, you literally just go to anyone and then you probably strengthen another position in that process as well. So it's actually not a bad position to be in at all.
No, I don't think it is. I think just having that extra bit of bank is going to make it safe to go to anyone. And then if you do, something happens to him, knock on wood, it doesn't, you've got a war chest immediately to do something with. So,
yeah. And I'm not worried at all about this whole he signed with South and people going, Madge won't play him as much, blah, blah, blah. If anything, I reckon Madge now just maybe pushes him that little bit more, especially just to go, you know what, you're leaving me, so I don't need to send you to South Sydney in the best shape. I'm just I want to win another premiership, and Payne Haas is obviously crucial to that. So I'm
for sure.
I am all for Payne Haas, and I'm telling you now, 57%. So there's 43 out there. I don't know what you're doing. I'd like to see your teams because it's probably stacked elsewhere, but I think you're going to miss and regret not having Payne Haas. So get him in and get this up. So I think by the start of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if this is about 70, 75.
Oh, we're not that far away, so I don't know if it's going to climb too much more. But he's just so far away from the next front rower.
Yeah.
So far away. Like, Terrell May's on a bye. It's the only reason he's 8% owned. Otherwise, he'd be probably 30 plus as well. Outside of that, like, Tarpon, he's almost 20 points less, and he's the third best guy. It's like 20 points. from top to third. That's going back a couple of years. That's like Cleary to the next best halfback.
Yeah.
This is the same discussion. Like he's that good.
Yeah, 100%. Second, so at the moment, I actually have 3 of the top 4 in my team, which I'm not really liking, to be fair. I want to be a bit different, but we will see what we do there. 2 is Jesse Calhoun, 2RF dual, 332K and currently 38% owned. This has been increased off the back of the news. I think McInnes is out for a little bit longer than many first thought. I think we had early in the preseason that his recovery has gone quite well and actually speeding along. And then it feels like there may have been, like we haven't heard much. It's been under wraps, but maybe a slight hiccup or something with the recovery, and it's been pushed back a few extra weeks. So Calhoun does come into the equation now, Jesse, as a starting lock. What are your thoughts on him?
This is a funny one, hey, because I don't really have much of an opinion on this
Me
guy.
too.
I think the ownership is really high. From the numbers that read, he's good PPM,
Yeah.
1.1, 2, like that kind of stuff. He's not really played big minutes in the NRL. He doesn't have a really good sample size to work off. In the games that he has played, he didn't, maybe on the eye test, because I can't recall watching him, stat-wise, hasn't blown the world up. I think the numbers are quite inflated, one, because the Sharks run is decent. He's got a bit of a name about being some, big guy like the Howarth, from a couple of years ago. Everyone was waiting for something to happen here. He's had a lot of bad luck with injury. Jesse Calhoun, my God. He gets back from a season-ending injury and he gets another one on return. So his record's not great in the last 2 years at least. 332, the dual. I feel like there's a lot of options though. Like,
yes.
I look at this position at the moment, and I will link 2RF into it because I'd imagine he's split between both just for him. You've got Paseka, who's cheaper, who has a lot more sample size of being a 55 averaging front row forward with probably 50 odd minutes too. Solid as. We've got Flegler back, who looked incredible in the trials. Got himself a try. We wanted to see how he came back. We know what Flegler can do. He's just slightly dearer. He's 13k more. You can go down in the 2RF side of things. You've got Lasardi. You've got Paxton. You've got, there's a few dudes at 400. He's not much, if you can find 60k, it's very hard to do. I get it. I just don't know where Calhoun falls into it. Like, I just think he's going to be benched when McInnes is back. I don't think there's debate there. I'd be very surprised if Calhoun, unless he gets the best run possible and he blows everybody apart, where he's going to keep McInnes out of lock position. I just don't think that's ever going to happen. I think he'll go back to being a bench guy. Maybe he plays 40, 45 minutes like he's done in the past, or actually less, less than 40 in the games that he's fit for a 1 point PPM. Like, how much more are you trying to get out of this guy? He's already 330.
Yeah.
So if you're expecting by the time McInnes comes back for him to be 600k, I just think you're dreaming. Yeah. I have no chance. I reckon that's going to happen. Maybe he pushes 100. 330. It's going to take him maybe 6 weeks to get up to 100k if he's averaging 45. If he's a 50-minute lock at maybe 50, 55 points, it's probably a bit of a jump. And then you got to trade him when he's benched again. So I get it. Like, I get it. There's a point of you're desperate for players to fill that gap of price point with, but when I look at Paseka and Flegler in the front row, and then I look at the guys cheaper than him that have 80-minute prospects to them with, nearly solidified positions, Calhoun is the last on my list. Yeah. And he's the second highest owned. Maybe I just think, I feel like I'm looking into it wrong. I look at the ownership and him and everything about it, and I'm like, maybe I'm missing something here. But I just don't feel like I am. So I'm happy to be proven wrong in the comments. Let me know. But yeah,
I'm with you. This is the guy in the top 4 that I actually don't own. So, and I have not looked at him once. I'm very much similar to your thoughts. So let us, as you said, let us know if there is something we perhaps are missing, but just some stuff just doesn't scream out and are grabbing me like it looks like according to the numbers it should be. Number 3 on the list is a guy we have spoken a lot about already over the last couple of months, and we've done a post or two on him. And Trey Mooney equals money. 2RF dual, 442k, 34% owned. I'm actually shocked that it's that low. After the numbers we've looked at and what we've seen he can do in cup and stuff like that, he just looks like a machine ready to go. And if anything's to go by, obviously on the weekend he played for the All Stars and things like that. I think he's raring to go. I think what Newcastle showed on the weekend when they had their more so full strength side is their middle is shocking. They need him and they need him to play some pretty big minutes almost weekly. And to me, that just screams super coach points for him, Jesse.
100%. Yeah, he's my FRF too, and I
Yep,
don't think I'm going to
me too.
change that. Um, I think we're looking at potentially another Terrell May at the Roosters here. Genuinely,
Love it.
yeah, I really do. Like, his sample size again is small, but freaking impressive, man. So impressive. Like, we're expecting prop from him, are we?
Yeah, prop for
Yeah,
sure.
prop from him. I would say, with probably a good 50-minute stint, considering what's, thinness there, I would say at least 50. I'm
I'd go
expecting,
60.
yeah, if it's 60, honestly, I'm expecting 70s out of him.
Yeah. I think it's
Genuinely.
going to be 60 more weeks than not. So,
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, he played one game at lock last year, played 44 minutes, he scored 85 points. No
wow.
tries, no assists, no scoring points. He got 73 in base and power in 44 minutes.
Yeah, just put him in,
Like,
guys. This needs to
that,
get to 60, 70%.
yeah,
He's being legit. You can't
that's what I
start
mean.
this
Like,
season without him.
it's just ridiculous. Like, it is genuinely ridiculous that, when you look at number 2 and 3, and you just dive into it a little bit, you can see the numbers there. They're right in front of you. You can click on him and you can have a look what he's done forever, and you go, okay, I don't see a lot here. Just for a bit more for a guy that you're starting. Like if you've got a front row of say Haas and Keon, you're really breaking the bank there, and you're getting two of the big boys. You can save 200k getting Mooney.
Yeah.
For what I honestly don't think he's going to be that far apart. We don't know. We genuinely don't know. But it bodes well for him, I think. I think the risk is low, extremely low. I can't see you losing coin on him at 442.
I
I don't
agree.
think there's a world where he goes backwards. If it's not what we are anticipating, this massive, 60 plus minute, maybe he's averaging 65, 70. If it's not that, it'll at least be 50.
Yeah.
It'll at least be 55 maybe. And then at the end of the day, you've got a 440k to start dual position forward when there's very few of them. Yeah, it's all good. Genuinely,
Yeah.
there's all good things about this pick. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm
Just
very very
going
keen.
Just going off his NRL numbers from last year, I never look at numbers, guys, but the fact I'm going to say this now shows you that it's worth talking about. Even just purely NRL last year, he only had 4 games because it's a star-studded Raiders pack, but round 3 against Manly, he scored 89 points in 43 minutes,
That's what I'm
26
saying.
points in 20 minutes. Even that's points per minute is 1.3, which is fantastic. And he'll have a lot more than 20 minutes at the night, that's for sure. The Dragons round 18, 33 points in 36 minutes, so not just under a point per minute, but that's a very abnormal thing for his numbers. And then the last round against the Dolphins, where they put out basically their reserve grade squad, he played a 55 minute game and he made 78 points. So it's just,
Yeah, huge.
I think it just speaks its volumes there itself. Like even just going off that, that's an average of 56.5 for life. Obviously, this is last year's point, so it's a bit different to this year, but you
Yeah.
get the gist. He's a freak and he's going to make money, and I can't
Well,
wait.
he's 100k underpriced already
Yeah,
off his 4 games. With like a 1 point, that first game was like almost a 2 point ppm.
that's crazy.
So it's dumb. That's why I'm like, I genuinely feel like this could be Terrell May again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
I
here
know
for
it's
it.
a price difference, but I just think that needs to go. That percentage, seriously, guys, start looking at what you're doing there, and it is just some serious value there. And that jewel, because there's not as many jewels this year, is priceless as well. Like that is going to be very valuable at some stage. I'm sure of it. There'll be times where you want to use that and take advantage of it.
For
Number
sure.
4, 10 Yellow Paseka, 328k, 23% owned. He's in my side. He's on the bench at the moment. I'm very obviously had a massive injury riddled year and he only played 3 games last year. Again, had an average last year of 48 though, and he's priced at 329k. So there's sure you look at that going, oh, there's some decent money if he can hopefully stay on the field. And then I think it just gets better and better, and he plays more and more minutes because again, similar to the Knights, Manly's pack, especially the middle, not great. and I think they're going to need Paseka to play some pretty big minutes once he's proved he can handle it, of course. So I think he might be a bit of a slower one burn in
Mm.
terms of at the start they might just make sure his body's right and they won't be pushed as much. But I'm anticipating by like around 5 to 6, he starts to then go to that next level and play some pretty decent minutes, which will mean some pretty good scores.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be a slow burn with Paseka, but I'm
Yeah,
not I'm not wanting it to be a long term, like a
yeah,
long fasty thing. I don't expect that from him. It's the same as Flegler, and we'll get into him next anyway. But I just think when you're getting a guy that traditionally averages close to 50, or in non-injury affected games averages more than 50 for 330, with a pack that's just geez, like Manly's not got a lot going on for him at the moment.
yeah,
Um, he's essential for them. He has to be there. He has to be doing what he has done for Manly since. All right, it's been how long there? 8 years or something.
yeah,
He's been there forever. Um, Yeah, I just think it's an easy pick. Like my front row literally consists of four of the top five percentage pick players, and I've got both. And it's probably a bit more coin than I need to spend in there, but I just know there's money here. I know there's probably 200k here over the course of the first 10 rounds, and I'm happy to slow burn it away because most of the guys underneath him in price, I don't expect them to make 200k at all.
yeah.
So yeah, if you can plug him, it's fine. He's playable as well. I think early
Mhm.
on, especially if he's getting a start, and if you see he's playing in the trials, so we'll get a good look at him anyway and to see how he's moving. But um, yeah, if he gets out there for 45, I expect 45,
Yeah.
40 points. He's
And you'll take that.
330. He's 330k. Like it's always up. It's the same as
Yeah.
Mooney, but maybe to a lesser extent because of how good Mooney could be. Um, but it's profit there. There's money to be made early. I think it's a bit of an investment. If you want to not run with Pasek, you only want one of these dudes on your bench. So say you've got Calhoun there, for example. I probably wouldn't go Calhoun out of the three, Paseka and Flegler. These are the
Yeah.
three guys that pretty much are putting their hands up at the moment to be your front row three candidate. In my case, I'm running both 3 and 4 of guys that are 330k because I see the value with them. Um, just it's an easy. It's like it's a safe pick. I think like you got to have one of them.
Yeah.
Because if anything happens to your starting two, you want a playable third.
Yeah.
I don't care much for the fourth. I could nuff the front row four out comfortably, but when there's cash on the table, admittedly slow cash, it's still profit.
Yeah.
Um, I just think it's an easy one to pick. I like him more than Calhoun.
Oh, 100%. And basically similar, very similar price points. I'll be taking Prosecco every day of the week. He's actually 4K cheaper.
Yep.
Fifth is a man that you're obviously very keen on if you already hinted towards it. Tommy Flegler, 346K, 22% owned. Obviously came back on the weekend at the trial, looked fantastic, scored a try. Didn't look like he shied away from anything, which was awesome to see for his body point of view. I think if he gets through this weekend as well, I think that number will go pretty high. I think there's just a number of it, me included, who are just waiting to see how this week goes. And then I will not hesitate to do similar to I'm guessing what you've now done to your team and just go, you know what? There is actually some money in that to be made. There's some decent scores to be made as well.
Yep.
Because Tommy Flegler, let's not forget, he was a gun before this horrible injury happened. And
100%.
it looks like going off what we could see from that first trial, it won't take him long to get back to that. He's just already seems fairly confident, which was a shock to me, actually.
Well, he went to the Finns with huge raps. He didn't get much of a run there, but in the games he played in 2024, he averaged 61 in 4 games.
Yeah, wow.
Good going, man. Like, and I was a bit hesitant too. I was a bit skeptical about Flegler and what he could do when he left the Broncos, because he was never the guy at the Broncos. It wasn't. They had Carrigan and Haas. Like, how can anyone be the guy behind those two? So, like, it made sense, but there was enough there from him to go, yeah, you know what? The Dolphins are getting themselves a general right here. Like, he's going to lead this group. And then, yeah, just shocking injury. Kept him out for so long. Just so obscure as well. Nerve damage. Like, it's wild. And I had my Supercoach hat on watching that game. And I turned it backwards because I was, it was business. And I just watched him. I watched him. I really analysed his game. Right before the try, Flegler, if you go back and watch that game, the 4 sets before he scored that try, he was in all of them.
Mm.
He was in every single one. He was in a great position. He pushed the line forward. He got into another position. He did it again. And then he's there for the try. And I'm like, that is perfect. because he wants to be there. Like, he's looking for the line at that point in time. He's not going back and letting the edge guys do it or whatever. He's like, he was pushing there. He wanted that try, and you could see it leading up to it. I was like, Flegler's going to score here, and that was 2 sets before it even happened. So I was like, okay, that's good signs from him anyway. And obviously, you just wanted to see how he would go on return from such a long layoff. He's my favorite of the three now after that game, of those three guys.
Yeah,
Personally,
I am firming. I'm starting to get towards the point where I'll be surprised if I don't have him in my team reveal next week. So
yeah,
I'm praying as well he gets through everything fine this week, and then it's, as I said, I think 22% will be the lowest he's owned for a long time if he gets through this weekend. So get on him now. Do it. Miles Martin next up, 20%. I think you mentioned a bit early about nuffs and things like that. I think this is what has happened here. Obviously, Miles Martin won't be anywhere near the starting side. Probably takes him a couple of injuries before he gets a start as well. Just a stack of the depth still at the Raiders in these positions. He does have the dual. He's 201k. I have him in mind currently just because of that factor. But I do think I have room to move, and that can easily become a Tommy Flegler by round one.
Yeah, look, he's a premium nuff, really.
Yeah.
That's all it's there for. I would probably look into his draw. Ideally, you want nuffs playing late.
Yeah.
Tui Simpkins last year, I did the nuff analysis on that and found that the Titans pretty much played majority of their games on Sundays, which was great. It's exactly when you kind of want him for. So I have a feeling the Raiders don't do that. I have a feeling, I looked into this early in the season, and it's been a few weeks, so I don't quote me on it, but I feel like majority of the games are on Fridays or Thursday, Fridays. Enough for me to look elsewhere when it comes to enough. And you're getting a guy for bottom dollar with a duel. It's slim pickings. You don't have a plethora of players to choose from, but ideally, get someone playing later more often than not. So
yeah. No, very, very handy point there. Toby Couchman next up, 2RF duel as well. We said there wasn't many duels, but at the moment there's a lot of them at the top of this list. So it makes
why they're there.
Yeah, that's the reason why there actually really isn't that many out there. But Toby Couchman, 588k, 19% owned.
I like it.
You like it?
I do. I like Toby Couchman a lot. I think he's on the up. I think he's very injury prone. I think both Couchmans are. Yeah. But in saying that, he's not injured right now. So
take the positives.
Exactly right. It'll happen eventually, maybe. Yeah. Hopefully not. But if it does, you trade him. We do it all the time. 588's good for him, he gets a bump from last year. Probably a good one, I would say, just going off the way that everything sort of upticks. Looking at a 60, I'm putting a +5 on everyone in the front row. Just a default +5. Whether it happens to +5 or... I just don't see anyone losing points here. Automatically, that makes the entire position undervalued. The way that I look at front row forward, even to an extent, second row forward's quite a big buff as well. I just think everyone is at least 5 points undervalued now.
Shout out to High Five as well.
High five. Far
Shout out to them. Wonder what they're doing these days.
Who knows?
What a flashback. That just straight away got to... Whether I'm scarred, I don't know, but that straight away came to my mind as soon as Five's mentioned. Jack Hetherington, 2RF dual, 235k, 18% owned. Going off the trial list, and normally Bellamy doesn't take these too seriously, but it feels like this one he has taken a bit more seriously, and Hetherington can't even make the proper NRL bench, would be a 6-man bench. He's actually on the extended reserve, so I actually don't know if he's going to be getting picked at this stage, Jesse, so I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah, look, I put him in my team, in my 2RF, mainly because he was in my front row forward, and I needed to move some coin around, and I was like, well, he's still cheap.
Yeah.
And I had him as my 4, and I thought, you know what, I still do want Paseka and Flegler in my bench in my front row. Just vacated the spot for him, and he moved down to 2RF. I could just go him to Cooper Bye, to be fair. Yeah. There's not much going on for him. He's never been relevant, Hetherington. Never.
It was the Melbourne Storm magic dust that people were starting to believe a few weeks ago, and then I think people started to come back to earth slowly, because I feel like his percentage was a little bit higher earlier in this off-season. So
yeah, he's played in, so go back to a few years ago, 21, 22, where he played big minutes. He's playing 50 plus, 55, 60 minutes, give or take. 0.6
Yeah.
ppm. No, it's not good. In games where he's off the bench playing 30 odd minutes, it's still, thereabouts a point a minute, give or take. The guy, that's what he's going to do. And I don't expect a lot. I don't expect big minutes. Um, I expect suspensions. I expect
Mm.
sin bins. I expect all the negative stuff out of him. I don't expect any ceiling stuff out of him. He's not going to be a guy that you're going to play ever
Mm.
for 27 rounds if you can avoid it. So, um, yeah, is he better than enough? Maybe not.
Mm. And
I
I'm
just
looking at just. Well, I know we've said it multiple times now. When you, apart from the spine, Melbourne obviously their squad looks quite not weak's the word, but just short on a number of players. But when I actually look at them, what they've named this week, their middles are actually pretty decent because Stefano and Josh King start, and then you've
Yep.
got Trent Liero's on the bench, Alec McDonald starting at lock, Davey Moale as well. Cooper Clark, I have no idea what position he actually plays. He's on the bench. I'll just name him. So there you go, Cooper Clark. Shout out to you. And then you go down to those guys, but both Jack Hetherington and Vaelepu are on like literally the extended reserve. So there actually is a little bit of depth when it comes to the Storm's middles at the moment, which doesn't bode well either for that Jack Hetherington selection.
No, I just think the price is, it's cheap and the
Yeah.
percentage is high because he's in two positions in people's teams. And that's the reason why when you go sort by selected, the jewels are at the top because you're looking across two positions, not
Yep.
one.
100%. A
Yeah.
guy I'm curious to hear your thoughts for because I know there's some more and more people are getting intrigued by this one. It's Jermaine Hopgood, 2RF dual, 517k, 15% owned. I know we're in a lot of drafts at the moment, so a lot of the draft chat is around this guy and hoping he gets some good minutes and things like that. He's been named a prop. I think that is literally where he's going to be playing this year. Jack DeBellin looks to have that lock position down pat. And I think Dury did some great things on the weekend to probably push up into that spot as well if DeBellin's ever out. I like it, him being a prop. I actually like the fact that he's now got strict instructions to basically run first. I reckon there's been a bit of talk. I seen in one of our chats on the weekend that there was talk that Riles or something has told him to put the offload away and things like that. I think that
No
might
good.
come back out. No, I think that's going to. I don't really buy that at all. I think there's going to be a little bit of that sort of style of play, especially what we saw on the weekend. If that's anything, we've been naming some pretty. The Eels have been naming some pretty strong sides for these two trials to show,
Mm.
in a way, how they're going to play. There's a lot of free flowing sort of football happening. So I don't have him in my team, but I'm not going to too badly dismiss anyone that has him. But it's a hope pick more than anything, I think.
Well, last year played 8 games in the front row position. He was better there than he's been for the last probably 2 years, to be
Yeah.
fair, anywhere in those 8 games. So it was good. Like he looked really solid. He's obviously had a lot of injury in the past, and I think it just took him a while to get back into it. And then
Yeah.
Riles comes through. It's a change up of management. There's a lot changing at the Eels too from that season that he
Yeah.
returned from as well. So, another year into it, another year of being healthy again, I would say is good for him in general. Hopgood is a gun. He is a gun, genuinely. He really is. Like we forget, man. The memory is very short in Supercoach, unfortunately, and we just got to go back to 2023, I think it was.
Yeah.
This dude, man, was insane. Like he come out of nowhere, just signed from Penrith. Cool. This guy's meant to be pretty good. He's cheap. Get him in your team. All of a sudden, you're getting 80s back to back to back. Everyone, going nuts and just a freak. So I hope for him he gets back to that. I don't know if he will, not to that extent anyway, but I definitely see him being better than 50 or 500 and 15k.
Yeah.
I really do see that as an improvement. It's quite low for what he can be. Um,
Get on him. Get on him, guys.
it could be very good, genuinely, but I look at it again and like in that position in my 2RF because he's a jewel, he's a really handy jewel. Um, there's a couple of guys around the 2RF that I'm sort of looking under, and I don't know how high up in 2RF I want to go because we'll get into that after this one. But
Yes.
in my front row, I'm so settled on Haas and Mooney. I really am. Yeah, if I need to find an extra, like if I drop Paseka down, for example, and go down and go Mooney up to Hopgood, is it really that much of a jump? Like, are they really that far apart right now?
I think Mooney's got
Speculation,
more upside as well. So
but I reckon he does too. I really do. And I think you're going to get 65, 70s here and there out of Hopgood. I feel like you're going to get that out of Mooney more often as well.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. They could be very much the same type of player. They could play very, very similar minutes. There is a lot of depth at Parramatta at the moment in that middle position. There's a
There
lot of
is.
depth. Heaps. Heaps.
It's
Like, how many
it's
mouths do you
ridiculous.
have to feed, man? Like,
Oh, the food bill at Parramatta is very large at the moment. There is plenty of people needing to eat, especially those big dogs in the forward pack. Paddy Carrigan, 2RF dual, 636K, 11% owned. We were also high on him so
I
early. I
love him.
remember when we did the Broncos season preview and things like that. I think the fact that he's not higher on is purely, or I'm going to anticipate, is the purely price point.
Yeah.
That's it, because I think he's going to do a tremendous job this year.
Yeah, well, I consider him with a 70 average from last year. He's a jewel. I think he's going to have a cracker of a year, man.
Yep.
I just have that feeling. You just get those sort of vibes off of someone. I think he's going to be immense this year.
Yep.
I drafted him in the League of Inches draft as well, third pick, happily. I was very happy with that. Um, Next year, no Haas too. Like, there's a lot for Carrigan to do now. I just think this year he's really going to take it, and he's going to be like, well, this is going to be my team long term. And I think we kind of know that it's going to be that. Look, he was in my team preview too, team reveal 1. I had both him and Haas in my front row, and I'm not ruling it out in the second row position, honestly, because I think either way, look, I can interchange. I can put Mooney in my 2RF, and I can just lock the two Broncos at the top. It's irrelevant. Um, I'm so high on Carrigan this year that I feel like I almost have to do myself in and just get him, because I don't like going against the feel, the vibe, and I have it big time with this bloke. So
You do, and I'm glad you're sitting
yeah,
down right now talking about him. So,
good.
um,
Thank you.
Keon Kaloamatangi, 666K. Geez, those numbers, some will go not be picking him purely off that. 10% ownership. Again, another guy that I've heard people talk about and say, oh, no, because he's leaving, I'm avoiding. I think absolute rocks in your head, those comments, because South Sydney, if they can get things right, are in the potential premiership window and could win a comp this year. I don't think that's unrealistic expectation for them if they do get everything right, which is a big if, I understand. But while they're like that, and what we've seen from last week's game, just to start with, Wayne's going to be sprinkling a lot of dust on this side this year. I think he's realised as well, I've probably got a year or two to go to get one more. That's what he's really chasing. And I don't think he'll rest Kaloamatangi. I don't think he'll reduce minutes. If anything, like similar to Payne Haas, I just think he'll get him to just keep going. Just keep going for me. Get us what he's done. He's basically their best middle now. They need him to win get football games.
Yeah, I think if he wants a crack at a premiership, he's not going to get it next year.
Yeah.
So this is kind of it.
Subtle dig at the Dragons there. I like it. No
I've
worries.
got enough Dragon supporter mates out there that know I'm just having a laugh, but looking at you, Aaron, you'll know. Yeah, look, I rate Keon big time, hey, and I picked him up in just the draft that we're doing right now. You know what I mean? Over Carrigan, because I just wanted to sort of split the two and have one of each. This is a dude that can average 80 plus in a front row position, playing basically 70 minutes.
Yeah.
And we saw that last year in big games. He was tonning up in them. He was putting up 80s, 90s, and he was a must-have in Classic. As soon as we knew that Keon was coming back into that front row position, genuinely, the entire community stopped the presses. Everything froze, and they all rushed to get him into their team. So that's the kind of pull that someone like Keon has. If he is going to be playing big minutes in that front row position like last year, which is looking like every chance, he's going to be underpriced, maybe 150K. Looking at him now, and that's the hard thing. Hey, like, how many freaking front rowers all of a sudden do we need to have in our teams? Like,
Flex.
2 years ago it was nowhere. Well, you could do. You definitely could. You're going to get. I think you're going to get a more consistent average out of someone like Keon or a Haas or someone if you want to put in your flex position. Then you are rolling it on a big center wing that can go 160. Like, it's the same points output at the end of the year, but it's like you're going to get a very consistent scoreline out of him. And he in those front row games, man, his minutes are massive. Like, he's a fit dude. He's looking better every year, and he's playing 70 every single game. Like, I just don't know. Like, do you reckon there's a world where like he does get a? I know you said it earlier. I don't think there's going to be any reduction with like
I,
Fafita coming in or all these other middles or the bigger bench or anything like that.
Not really, because I think if anything, they're going to try and keep Cam Murray away from a lot of this bash and barge stuff as much as possible. So I don't even think he will, because I just anticipate Cam being their enforcer. Like, and I
Mm,
don't think they've got much of that. Even Arrow already, his body's sort of falling apart in this preseason. So they need him. And I know Totola's there, and he did look, to be fair, he did look fit on the weekend. It's only a trial, and this preseason, the photos I've seen, he does look fit. But Keon's the guy for them, and
yeah.
it's his last year. I just think he'll continue. I'm not too stressed about it at all. It might change if, let's say, after round 15 or so, after Origin, they're battling away and they're not looking like they might make the 8. It might change, and then he does get by then. We'll have different options, and sure you boys will cover it by then and who you'll go to
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I also predict he'll probably play Origin this year as well. So by Origin time, you're probably looking to get him out of your team anyway. So, yeah, I think to
Who
start with,
knows actually with
yeah,
Origin?
exactly. Now the eligibility you got,
Yeah,
it's going to be a star-studded New South
big
Wales
time.
pack. It is going to be ridiculous. But just put a post out as well, guys. Go check it out. It looks scary. The pack is. Please, Laurie, do the right thing and choose who you should be choosing. Anyway, let's move on. Adam Fanor Blake, 638K, 8%. I feel like this is probably one of the lowest ownerships he's had for a while to
What the,
start the season, 8%.
you skipped a couple.
Oh, sorry, I've missed it. I do, haven't I? Yeah, sorry, Nafahu White. My
Mm,
thing accidentally slipped. 584K, 10% owned. Plenty of wraps on this guy at the moment, Jesse. He's looking
mm.
like he's just going to be in for another one of those years. I just can't pay the 584 at the moment.
I'm so surprised he's 10% owned. I
You want him
respect it.
lower?
I would expect way lower.
Yeah, yeah.
I would expect way lower. Honestly, I think I look at it and I go, geez, there's a lot of options at front row right now. 584. He's 50k off Carrigan, who I think is going to do more, and he's dual. He's not dual, so it's all front row position. There's no inflation in the 2RF spot. He's 80k or 70k dearer than Hopgood. He's 140k dearer than Mooney. He's in a
I'm
really
going Mooney
awkward
every day of the
position.
week still.
He's basically the same price as Toby Couchman, and I really rate Toby Couchman,
Mm,
and he's dual. It's like, where are the Naf White owners here? Put your hands up, because this is a mad pick. I had Naf White last year, and it was one of those things. I remember it might have been a team builder selection kind of thing where I was tossing up the dual position of Naf White and Aaron Clark, and I
mm.
said, "Give me Naf White, Aaron Clark's. I got enough to say. I've seen enough of him over his years. I don't expect much more." I was wrong. Naf White was bloody good too, man. I didn't feel that bad about it, not getting Clark. So
Yeah,
um, he's going to be the big guy for the Roosters now, I would say, this year, especially through the middle. We know what Collins is going to do. We know what Lenyu's going to do. It's not much. It's a lot for them, but it's not much for the game, Supercoach.
yeah,
So when it comes to Naf White's game, it's very, very NRL fantasy friendly. When you look at the stats that he can put up in tackles and runs and all that kind of good stuff, he's efficient as well. Yeah, this is going to be a big bump for him.
yeah.
I don't know exactly where his average falls in and how much of an increase he does get. I would say it's probably marginal. Um, I don't know if there's too much more in that sort of game that he's got outside of just being the tackle bot. So,
Yeah.
tack on a few more tackles that he has, a couple more heavy runs. I really like it. I don't know how much more upside he has price point wise than what he's got. There was games where he had a run of 60s and 70s consistently. Again, at 584, it's not a big increase. He needs to do a lot more than that. So it's an awkward price point for me. I think there's a lot more value below him, and I think he's at price not too far away from literally the elites, the top heavy hitters in like a Keon or a Carrigan or something. If you're shying away from Haas and Taps, so yeah, it's high, isn't it?
It is. Let me echo your sentiments, and I'll just add, love him as a draft play.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I just think he's in a very awkward spot for Classic. Terrell May is next on the list, which is a bit crazy to say. 811K, 8% owned. Like you said at the start, purely off the fact I think he's on a buy round one. People don't want to see 811 on their bench. He will become a huge point of difference from round two, though. A pod, I should say. So interesting plays. What you do, I guess. I think the conversation more so is Jesse. I know most will have Payne Haas, so I'll be shocked if they go both just to start with. Some might out there may. I'm not too sure. I. What do you do? What do you do here? What's the play? Because
I'll tell you.
I got Terrell May on my draft. One other thing I'll quickly say on this: something's going on here, and there's a lot of talk in the podcasting world, creator world, and stuff like that. And we put it onto some of our chats today. Things are very quiet on a Terrell May front in terms of he's not in any training pictures ever. He's not on doing any social media stuff really for the Tigers. That is no media stuff like that. No trial games for him either. Now something's off, and I know he didn't play all the Pac Champ games either. I know then he was limited minutes for the games he did play. I don't know what's going on, Jesse. It's probably that reason there that I haven't gone near him once yet. I'm very nervous now because I got him first round in my draft as well. I'm shit myself, but anyway.
Terrell May's been dealing with an ongoing back issue in the preseason. In case anyone was wondering, I heard chatter about it recently, and then just as you were saying that, funnily enough, the universe has spoken. Physio just put a post out on Terrell May.
I asked him about it today. Thanks for getting to that, Physio.
Yeah. So just then, literally as this pod is, as we're talking. So Terrell May will miss this weekend's trial for the Tigers. He's dealing with an ongoing back issue over the offseason. He's currently building his training load back up. Thank you, Physio. You are a legend to this group. There's no doubt he's going to be back for round 2, apparently. So what I have tabled up, and it's one of my screenshot team builders that I actually just love. I've started. I've made sure I don't delete it. Terrell May in the flex. Haas up front, and you put Terrell May in the flex, or you put Terrell May on the bench, and you just grab one of these dudes, a Mooney, you put Flegler in your flex. You just put someone there to get that score, and then move them around, Move these dudes, shuffle them, pop. All of a sudden, Terrell May and Haas are in your team. And it's like, it looks really good. I'll be honest with you. It looks really, really good, because you're not going to get him otherwise. Genuinely. I just don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know where you're going to find that kind of money to get another prop at 800 plus K. It's just so hard. I don't expect a regression too far off what he is. We know what Terrell May is. His PPM and his output has been the same for 2 years. If he has the minutes, he has the points. And if he doesn't have the minutes, he works his ass off to make up those points that he would have had anyway. So, yeah, I think he's inevitable. Just a step below Haas, just daylight between the rest of the pack in that position. So we're going to rush to get him. I think the goal is to have Haas and May like it was last year.
Absolutely.
I just don't know when you'll be able to. I don't know if it's a reasonable pick, and he's not going to have any price changes until round 4. The only change that I would anticipate is either a hold or a very slight drop. But the Tigers' run to start after that bye is so juicy. Tigers got a
couple of tries in there.
Yeah, possibly. Tigers got a good run, and he's in every tackle, every single tackle.
Especially now with the new rules as well. Like,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
everything.
He's already the first or second man in, and if he's not, he's the third. Like, there's not a tackle that gets made that Terrell May's not involved in that team. So it's just he's going to be the biggest accumulator of these points in the entire position, just in base.
Another legit captain option by the sounds of it as well, especially in the first few weeks. Like, obviously not round 1, but then post that, he could be in when normally statistically over Supercoach, those big scores from the high flying players aren't necessarily as high as they are towards the back end. You look towards these middles and stuff like that, like last year, and Terrell May or Payne Haas are looking good, juicy options so we can just get that bang out that easy, at least 80, and you just get 160 and off you go. So
revised numbers, he had a base power of 85 last year in 24 games or something. It's just, that's what I mean. Like, between the top 2, which are Haas and May, it's genuinely just daylight. Yep. And like, as good as Tarpany is, and Fanua Blake, and Carrigan, Keon, as good as they are compared to the rest of the comp, there is no one that can do Haas and May stuff. No one. So, yeah. It's just the round 1 bye. If you can weather it, which I think you can, genuinely, yeah, you'll be in a way better position than majority because they'll be trying to dismantle something to fit another 800k guy in.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to start trying to move us on a little bit and pair a few people together because I can feel Trav's presence in this room, and he's basically trying to tell us let's start to move on from front row forward. So Adam Fleur, Blake, and Joseph Tarpany together. So 638k, 702k, 8% and 7% ownership between them. I think this is probably fair enough for both. I think there's some good options either side of them that I think most players will be going for. Obviously, both still very good options. If some people are going to go for them, I can't dismiss them or bag them for it. It's just that for me, it's not a play yet. I've got no doubt at some point this season they'll both be very relevant. We'll be trying to get at least one of them in our team at certain points. Tarpling probably around Origin time, like always.
Both.
Yes. No, but AFB might be playing for the Blues.
Maybe.
So.
Maybe. I don't know about that. We'll see what happens. But I would look at them as an Origin pickup, give or take around that period. Tarpany always is. We spoke about him on the Raiders, but Fanil Blake's the same. He was in the top tier as well. I just think they're moving away quite quickly, these two, the two big boys. So, they're just pricey. They're pricey to start. It's so hard to find a coin for these guys.
Yeah. Quick one. Next one. I remember I mentioned this guy, and you were kind of looked and went, you know what? Actually, not a bad sort of play. Curtis Moran, 2RF dual, 260k, 7% owned. There is obviously now Tino looks like he's been moved to the front row. He's off. That's going off this trial list anyway. I know at the moment Randall's named at lock, but I just think with the injury to Jolliffe and things like that, minutes are increased, even coming off the bench. I don't mind this Moran play at 260k. I just at the moment don't have him in my team, but if I needed to free up money and I was desperate to free up that 80 odd K, I don't like it, but if I had to resort to anyone to go down to, it might be like a Paseka or something down to Moran just to make something happen because I think Moran might do okay.
Yeah, I don't hate it. When you did say that, I was like, Moran. But I thought, Moran's good, man. He was good at the Dogs. He just never really got too much of a run, but he was solid. Like, he was a really good player just for the game. I just reckon... Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of a bit hesitant to have like 7 Titans in my team.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
That's where I'm sort of sitting because I'm like, give me Paxton big time. Yeah. Love him. I'll take Paxton. I'll take Tino potentially. I'll take Faimani. I'll take Cooper Bye.
Yeah.
Like, where do you stop? Yeah. Like, you have to draw a line somewhere. Jaden Campbell, just for the sake of it.
Still looking okay.
Mate, he's looking real good. There's a lot of players there. So, yeah, even, just throw in freaking Verrills.
Draft man Verrills.
yeah, he's my draft hooker as well. So, like, they're all over the shop. Titans, so relevant. Funnily enough, they're just not that great.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I've got too many Titans. That's where I'd be a bit hesitant. But I can see the upside.
Keep an eye on him, guys, and if anyone out there can make it work or it works better for him, it's not the worst option to play. Ethan Roberts is enough, so we all know that by now. Isaiah Papali'i, just quickly, let's just let Jesse have a 12-month on moment whether he can back himself up again. 579k, the dual once again, 6%. Been named in to start in the back row this weekend's trial, but I have noticed Sorensen and Garner are not in this team, and Martin, I should say, as well. So just make it that what you will. But Jesse, can you declare it now? Are you back on the IPAP train, or you're slowly or quickly getting off?
No, I'm on.
You're back on. Okay,
I'm back on.
You're still on. You haven't actually got off yet. You're actually just going around.
Yeah, I just moved back a couple of carriages. Yeah, I haven't jumped off. I don't think I ever will. Yeah,
you'll retire and you still be on that train.
Yeah, happily. I'll die on that hill, man. IPAP's a gun. Look, I picked him up last year in draft when he got on the 2RF side. He started playing on the edge, and he went bang, man. He was freaking good. I was like, this is the IPAP that I've been advocating for so long. Vindication is good. 72 average in those games that he played. A couple of real big ones as well. I just want to see it long term. Like that's the whole point. I just don't know what happens there in general. Like he's got 103 in the last round, a 94 in round 10, 88 round 23. Like he's still got it. He hasn't lost it just because whatever. But yeah, he's at a nice price too. 579. I'd put him in my 2RF. I think my front row is locked up, but I'd put him in my 2RF genuinely. He might be the dearest guy that I have, or the second dearest. Or I look at Yo, great value as well, very underpriced, and it's hard to get all of them, especially if you're getting two, Panthers dudes in your second row forward position.
Yeah.
It's one of those, love plays. I'm just doing it because I like the guy. But yeah, if he is named to start second row, beginning of the season, yeah, I'll be very very tempted.
I can see you as that guy in 30 years' time. You'll be at the pub watching the greyhounds, watching the dogs run around, and you'll see this kid or something, this 15-year-old be sitting there and just on his phone. You'll see he's got Supercoach open. You'll go, you know what, kid? I'll tell you about this one player that was just a gun back in the day, and you'll be just obsessed. It'll be IPAP. You'll be glowing him. IPAP, reach out, please. You're a great bloke. Just message Jesse. I know we had actually a big breaking news, guys. You obviously seen our draft logos at the moment for Div 1, and you've seen Jesse's one for the Herbie, what's a Farnworth? So Herbie Farnworth. He actually liked it. He was actually involved in and loved it. So it was great to see. A bit of recognition where due. It's one of I love the logo. I love the team name. It's been ever since you mentioned it, I just was like, yeah, that's it. That's got to stay. I'm glad it worked, and I'm glad we had a bit of love from Herbie, which is awesome to see. So
good.
It was
so good.
It would have made Jesse's day.
It did. I was
smile. He would have been like,
I was wrapped. I was wrapped, and I was like, you know what, Herbie, you've got yourself a grand final win against that name as well. So that I usually change my team name every year, but I haven't this year for that reason.
There you go, a bit of nostalgia, and you can't change your name in the LOI draft now.
Apparently not.
There you go. Okay, let's get through a few of these pretty quickly. So, just quickly on Orblic's Tawa, he's 5% owned, 362k. There is news now coming out that apparently Jack Jazeski is now the favourite to have this edge spot. So, I don't like this Tawa play at all while this is happening. And to be fair, who knows what's going on? Obviously, we'll see from the World Club Challenge and then just go from there. But by all reports, Jazeski is getting that spot, so I just don't think this is a play. Nope. Takura, very, very cheap, but again, hasn't even made it to the World Cup Club Challenge squad, which I found interesting. I have a feeling they've left him here just to get some more minutes under his belt in the reserve grade, and who knows where he'll feature, but for now, not a play. I'm going to start reading some names out, and just tell me when to stop, Jesse, and I'm sure you'll tell me to stop a number of times. Stefano Utoikamanu.
I feel like you should stop.
There you go. I knew.
That's what you just started doing that, and I was like, you got Stefano next up. You should probably just cut it out right now. I think Stefano's going to be really big this year for Melbourne. 515k, it's really good. We saw how good he played at the end of last season. Massive uptick in his average. So yeah, he went into pretty much from round 21, 88, 82, 64, 70, 61, 50. Tack on another 4 to 5 points on top of that. On top of those particular scores, and he's, pushing 65, 70, 85, 90. I think we're going to see a lot more of that from Stefano this year. And it was maybe the hype from last season was a bit too much for him, and they were, everyone was expecting the world to be lit up instantly. Melbourne players traditionally need the next season. From what we've seen all the time with anyone that goes there, it's like they're good this year, but wait till next year. That's when they really get it under the belt. So this is a big year for Stefano. Really nice draft pick, I reckon. I can see a world where someone starts with him, but again, for the round one team in a classic perspective sort of standpoint, I still think there's better value below. But draft wise, if you can get him late, which you definitely can, because I did, really, really good pickup.
Yeah, I got him in one or two of my drafts I'm in as well, and I'm very happy I did get him when I did. Spencer Leniu, Corey Horsburgh, Xavier Willison, Tui, Caleb Navale, horrible news with his injuries now out for the year, so those 3%, hurry up and get off him. Jairo, body's already mucking up. Sione Fainu, Josh King, Satili Tabanua. Bro, to be honest with you, I think a lot of these are just in the same boat. They're not really options.
No. I think we pretty much have it. Anyone that's in that sort of boat and further down from there, there's probably a good reason there. 2% sub ownership. So that's kind of it. We've been talking about front rows for an hour now. Pretty much covered the entire top. I reckon very relevant in the top 10% up. Genuinely, there's a lot of really good options. There's a lot of combinations you can run with. I think the big takeaway from it is get Haas in your team. Just have him. Because, you can split Haas and Mooney's money. That's what, 1.2 mil, give or take, between two 600k guys. And I still think you come out worse off.
Yeah.
I really do. Put it. Honestly, I really do. I think when you just look at points over net spend to what you come back in return, Say for example, that gets you a Couchman and a Carrigan.
Mm,
I just don't see how Couchman and Carrigan together, for what their price is worth, outscore Haas and Mooney. I really
mm.
don't. It might not be much in it. There might be, 20 points in it at the end of the round, but it's still 20 points, and one guy's making big coin. That's the
Yeah,
difference. So yeah, that's kind of where I want to leave off on front row, I'd say.
I'm with you. And I think just the other little point is try and try and make up a little plan. I know most of the time it doesn't come together, but try and find a way to get Terrell May as early as possible into your team. I think he'll be a big crucial play early stages. Let's
Mm.
get over to the 2RF. So first of all, just a quick shout out as well. We have a big draw going on at the moment. So across Facebook and Instagram, a giveaway for your team's 2026 jersey. So you get to pick whatever 2026 jersey you would like. Go ahead, tag as many people as you want. Individual tags get you an entry. If you're a member of our Facebook Legends group, it's double entries as well for the Facebook side of it. But two draws at the moment in an Instagram and a Facebook. They're both pinned to the top of the profile. Go ahead, give us a like on there if you haven't already, and go. And that gets drawn this Sunday after or evening, basically. Probably very late by the time I get through all the entries because there is already a lot. So good luck to me. I'll be putting some interesting music on for a few hours to get me through
Mm.
those couple of hours while I enter every single name in. If anyone out there has a way for this to be quicker and better, message me because I'm going to need all the help I can get to make sure that's not a 7 hour, midnight
Oh,
finish for
it's
me.
AI
Let's go
special.
2RF. David Fafita, 485k, 55% ownership. Talk dirty to me, Jesse.
Freaking hell, man. What are the other? What are they?
Good start.
45%? What are you doing?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
get him in. Just get him. God damn it. I don't understand. There's people that are like, nah, I can't pick him. He's whatever. He's going to be playing 65 minutes a game. Who cares? And maybe he does. Maybe he
I don't
doesn't
think
get.
he does.
I don't think he does either. There's a chatter in the world. I don't care.
People overthink things.
Exactly.
There
It's
is a
it's
lot of
one of those
overthinking
ones.
this off-season, I've found.
There's
Just
a
on a
lot.
side note, I feel like there's a lot of overthinking super coaches. This more than ever before.
Yeah, I've done so little pod listening this year intentionally, and no
Mm.
disrespect to the friends that we've got on other pods. I've just been trying to keep my head out of the noise. Like I
Mm.
really am. There's so much happening. There's the
Mute
point
those chats.
system. I muted everything.
Yeah.
Everything is muted, man. Even our chats are muted. I'm just like, I need to just let this be how it'll be. Like I'm looking, my team pickers slowed right down. I'm just like, let me just get through this now, and I'm just gonna see what happens when it does. But yeah, this is one of those ones where like he's 485k for literally 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the number one second rower in the game,
Yeah.
he was double his price tag then, and he was averaging 85 plus. Like, what are you doing? Don't think too much about it, man. Just get him.
Yeah. All
Seriously,
right.
just get him in your team and stop worrying about things.
Another one I think exactly the same is number 2 on this list. Adavalu Lasati, 269k, 48%, seems to have locked down that edge spot. But the worry, and we picked up on it the other night talking, I was speaking with Trav and Savs was, oh, no, sorry, last night with our preview podcast. He's on the edge of Sean Bloor at this stage, which is a worry. Joe Chan's actually got the available spot by Katoa. I was anticipating, so was Trav actually, that Lasati was going to be on that side. So I'm actually a little bit worried now because Bloor's obviously got whatever it is hanging over his head. We've got no
Mm.
idea and don't really want to speculate, but there is something going on. There's a potential in club or NRL imposed suspension on its way once it all gets somewhat sorted or whatever. So there's both edges are available at the moment. I was hoping Lasati was on the other edge. I'm a bit concerned now. I'll still probably start him, but it's just a bit of that sucks.
Yeah, it was my concern with him going into the round in general. I said, like, you're not going to know if it's him or Chan until round 3.
Yeah.
And it could be Lasati round 1, and his 48% ownership, looks justified until round 2, and then it's not Lasardi anymore, like it was Joe Chan last year. Exactly the same thing. Um, yeah, it's tricky because he's a hard price point to get away from. You need to bank some
Yeah.
coin. He's 269. Like you're not going to be able to just go sideways to someone. You'll have to spend a bit to get to Joe Chan if he's your alternative guy up. Um, you can go down to Curtis Moran. That's kind of the depths that you're dealing with at that point. But yeah, look, if it is his position, which who knows at this rate, then yes, he's good. Then 100%, I'll get him in, and he's in my team at the moment. It's hard not to be fair,
Yeah.
but I'm not holding too much hope for it long term. I don't know. There's no certainty around this spot yet at all. It's kind of just like if Joe Chan was 48%, I'd be saying the same thing about Lasardi against him. Like maybe Lasardi comes and takes that spot in 2 weeks' time. They're much of a muchness right now, and I think they're sort of priced accordingly. Either one that gets it is going to go up. Um, do they alternate? Whatever. I don't know. It's not a player you're going to play either. The way that I look at it, this isn't a guy that I'm going to be putting a reserve on if I can avoid it. Um, just trying to get some coin out of him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous now, to be honest with you. I'm just, yeah. Though that news and seeing the lineup has turned me off slightly. Number 3, Cooper Byer, 235k is on the bench once again for this week. 39%. I'm more than happy to have him in my team. I think he's going to do some good things. I don't think minutes wise might not quite be there to start with, but I think what we'll see if Cooper Byer, as the year goes on, he gets a bit more confidence, his body adapts and things like that. He'll get more and more time, especially now with the news that Tino's moving into the middle, or into prop, sorry. I like this Cooper Byer as more so sort of that lock sort of player and things like that. So
Yeah.
I'm loving Cooper Byer.
Mm. He's not in my team at the moment. I don't think he
He
gets
will
good
be.
minutes. He will be, probably. He has been for majority of the time. I just kind of move him out. But he's like the first guy I'll move off. You know what I mean? I just don't think we're going to get like 70-point Cooper Byer to get to begin with. I
Yeah,
think
no.
it's going to take a hot minute for him to get anywhere near relevancy, but he's at the point where he's cheap and the hype is so bloody real. Like you just plug him in there and let him sit as your number 6, and just chip away over the season because he will get stints.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll probably get a great stint over Origin when half that team is gone. So yeah, there'll be a time and a place for Cooper Byer to be played on your field, but it doesn't hurt having him just to stash. So yeah,
Yeah.
just let's lower the
That's what I'm doing.
expectations a little bit, man. For everyone, I think you just got to bring it down a little bit because could be S tier talent genuinely, but I don't think you're going to get it round 1.
I'm stashing it. I am a big stasher here, so there we go. Put him away and just hide him. Carl Mooney, we just spoken about him with the Jewels. Josh Paxton, another Titan, 275k, 25% owned. Seems to be an absolute lock for that edge spot. I don't think there's a reason why you shouldn't be starting with him.
Nope, absolutely not. I love it. I'm a big Paxton guy.
A guy
Um,
I did not know anything about 2 months ago. I now feel like I'm his biggest fan.
exactly right. I love the mo. I love the work rate. I love that
Yeah.
he's not a kid. You
Mm.
know, that's
He's
what
like
I
a
really.
man.
He's a man. He's 27. He's a man. Like this is a position that he's earned. Like it's not just the next young fella rookie coming up through the ranks, and you're taking a punt on a guy like Cooper Bye
Yeah.
or Lasardi to get a spot to make some points here for the same coin. Like he's got games under his belt, like and
He
a
was
lot.
laying bricks last year. He wants this.
Yeah, exactly. He's a man.
He's
Solid as.
got hairs on his chest.
Who doesn't?
Me.
Maybe
No, I
you.
do. I got a few.
But yeah, solid base, good try scoring rate in the resis. Like he's try every other game or two. Like it's just he's solid enough, and I'm keen enough to see what can happen from him. Plus, when you get someone that cheap with a locked in 80-minute spot, who traditionally have had Fermor and Fafita there score very very well. Great half next to him if he's on the right hand side, which he should be, because I think Fermor's a left edge back rower. He'll be playing
Yep.
outside of Jaden Campbell, which is great news. Yeah, look, I think his ownership is criminally low.
Yeah, it is. I'm just quickly looking last year as well. He only played 8 games. The majority of that was like 15-minute stints, but his biggest minute game was a 47-minute game. He scored 64, so
Yeah.
1.4 points per minute. So this guy, he's got a bit of footy in him.
Oh
I'm very
yeah.
keen to see what this guy can do. I don't think he'll leave my team anytime soon.
Nah, I can see Paxton being in my team, barring, obviously no injuries and stuff, far out for a very, very, very long time. If
Yeah,
everything goes well from him, I can see him staying in my team and I just use him and play
yeah.
him and he can just be that guy. Like the way I look, if he makes 400k and he's averaging what the guys at his price point are doing, I'll just keep him.
I was going to say, I feel like he's going to be that guy that by like around 15, 16, 17, we're going to look at him and go, holy shit, he's made like 400k or something. We'll be like, what the hell? Like, how good's this type thing? So,
Yeah,
see what we do, see what happens.
I'm down for it.
Let's do it. Isaiah Yo, 610k, 22% owned. I think the new rules and things like that have really lifted him as well by a couple of points, if I'm right, Jesse. So he's
They
become
are.
probably a couple of weeks ago, like old point system, not really on the radar of many. Now I feel like he's on the radar of a lot more.
Yes, he definitely is. So 610k, pretty much the cheapest he's been since 2021. Since he averaged 60. Basically, he's just gone on to push 70s, 70, mid 70,
Mm,
75, all that kind of thing. The reason why everyone flocked to him last year and kind of got a little bit burnt by him, especially early on, um, his ownership spiked back up big time. It was quite low before the scoring system change happened. I didn't think there was too much love for Yo. I think everyone kind of bit off him, but now he's back up to 22%. So I think he's undervalued to begin with of what Yo can do.
yeah,
Add on top of that the scoring system, which favors him quite a lot. He's going to probably get, I reckon, I think he's got one of the highest increases in points too. I think he's pushing back up to near the 70s again in average. So it's back to what Yo can do again. So look at the 62.4, with a bit of a grain, but um, call that a 69, 70.
ooh,
Mad. You're going to get him underpriced. Um, it's an easy pick. He's the one of the big beneficiaries of this change up, and he's a reliable player. Again, what you're kind of getting. You're not going to get much higher than that. Like we've said it, he's good for his 70 every week. Last year was a bit of an anomaly, going back on the last four, but I can justify the price tag. I can justify the ownership quite
yeah,
easily. 610's a great price for him. People paid double, it was 750 for him last year. So
yeah.
yeah, he's in my team at the moment.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
there
he's
we
in my
go.
team at the moment.
I actually
He's in
did
my
not know that. So.
Yeah, for this current rendition of my second row forward, he is my 2RF2.
Well, I know I have a feeling who your one is, and we're about to talk about him. So,
Yep.
um, 69 average, I'm all for that. I would love that 69 average.
Yeah,
So,
you would.
Tino Fa'asu Malaawi, 2RF, 687k, 21% owned. I anticipate before a ball is kicked, he'll get a jewel as well.
Yes, sir.
Um, I have him in my team. He's my number one as well.
Yep.
I feel like we're giving away most of our team so far, but
No,
whatever.
it's
It'll
right.
probably
It's just
change. It's fine. Yeah, he's going to work his ass off in this team. There's no doubt about it, especially now with the Jolliffe injury. He is going to be relied upon so much. It's a new era. He seems to have brought in really well with the Josh Henne stuff or what he's trying to bring to the club. I think, provided he stays fit, obviously that's key, but he can just be with that guy once again.
yeah. It's funny when I was talking about those Titan players that I own. I don't think I mentioned Tino or Keeney, and they're two
No,
more
you mentioned
players.
Tino. You didn't mention Keeney.
Oh well, there's another Titan I own. So that's why I'm like I have to simmer down on the
You're half the
Titans.
team.
I really do, honestly. I freaking do. I'm not joking. Um, they're all great picks, genuinely. They're all either underpriced or just exceptionally good players. So, yeah, look, I think Tino with his jewel, it's Tino. Like,
Yeah,
go past May, go past Haas. Tino's the next guy up. He's going to get that jewel, and I really want another jewel, especially with Mooney in my front row. I'll just
yeah,
switch them up. I'll just move Tino up there just so it looks nice next to Haas. I think it's more about the aesthetic than anything. Plus, I've got, you know, Paxton in my 2RF. So just
yeah.
split the positions around so you're not dead one week when all of a sudden they're on a bye and you've got no one left. Um, yeah, man, Tino was a freak last year. That 70 average is going to go up massively. The dual position is a big key. Um, I don't think I could really try and convince anyone to not get him in their side. So
Me either.
yeah, Tino's
Lock him in.
lock in. Yeah, for sure.
Uh, Skip over a couple of jewels. Cam Murray next, 548k, 19%. Obviously, only played the one game at the end of the year against that Roosters side. No one's really been talking about him. To be fair, I had him originally. I've just gone off him in terms of I just want to watch how he comes back in the minutes side of things for this Bunnies outfit. I will be very shocked if by like round 5 I don't have him in my team. I am quite high on him. I like what I'm going to obviously see from Cam Murray. He's a gun. I think he is underpriced. I just don't want to get too trapped by too many injury plague sort of guys in my team to start with.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same too. I've got Fafita in there. He's not going anywhere in my 2RF. I think it's essential. It's hard trying to fit, another same team player. Like I look at my forwards and genuinely I'm just like it's Titans, it's Melbourne, and it's yeah, outside of it's the friggin' Rabbitohs. Like I don't have very any variation, and I've seen so many teams. It's the same setup. It's the same setup. They've got three Titans on their second row forward. They've got either Lasardi somewhere, or they've got Tino and Paxton and Bai and throwing Cam Murray in for feeder, and it's like you can't do this. Like you just can't. He's not really been on my radar until last night. I was kind of humouring it and going back and looking at old Cam Murray numbers. Like Cam Murray
Were
was
you
one of
trying to decide between Yo and Murray? Is that what you were looking at?
actually, yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, yeah, I really was. Just trying to deviate a little bit, just trying to find something elsewhere. The ownership's close, 19 to 22%. It's much of a muchness like this. You're splitting hairs anyway, but I think Yo's obviously got the up, and I think you're going to get the minutes out of Yo that we know of, the 75s and stuff at lock. With Murray again, I feel like they have to kind of ease him in a little bit, just with the way that he's been the last couple of seasons. They've got a good chance this year, as much as I hate saying it. Their team is insane. Like if they can all stay out there, they've got a really good chance for doing something special. They just can't stay out there.
Yeah.
And like we're seeing it already with Jai Arrow, but he's one of those players that can just find an injury, when the wind blows. So I'm very keen on Murray. I think I will look at him at some point. I don't know if I'll start with him. But it's it can make sense. It can definitely make sense. He's at a really good pedigree for his price tag with the guys just up and below him. Like you look at the people that sandwich Murray at the moment, and it's Loiero and Ricky. I'm like Murray is so much more of a better player than these other two. No disrespect. It's Cam Murray, and you're getting him cheaper than Trent Loiero.
Yeah.
Like there's a good chance he's going to be a great buy for a lot of early players.
I think he'll be heavily featured in the early rounds for sure. A couple of jewels then, and then now we go down to Helam Lukey, 404k, 14% owned, has become very highly talked about, and I'm surprised the ownership's at 14. I actually thought it would have been a little bit higher going off what we've seen so far. Like we've seen 2 weeks of really good trial form from himself. He's trying both games. He heads over to Vegas full of confidence. I think Peyton has absolute rocks in his head if he doesn't name him on a starting edge. I think he just has to be there. He's just got something about him, Lukey. Fingers crossed his body holds up. That's what everyone is hoping for. That's the only downfall for Lukey. Otherwise, I think 404k is a bargain.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like we say it every year. I remember going back 2 years ago saying the same thing with Lukey, and then obviously having to trade him out before the round started. If he gets a starting edge spot, he's averaging 65 minimum.
Yeah. And I'm putting an R on him, a reserve.
Oh, easily. Yeah. You could justify playing him. He could be your second row 3, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think you're missing anything doing that. It's a luxury having him in number 4. Honestly, it really is. Because of what he can do, I think you're pushing, the top tier out of it. And the preseason form has just been great to see. And I'm glad that the ownership hasn't gone any higher because, you need these little pods. And like 14%, it's not pod territory, but like there's a lot higher ownership in other players than him. And I think he can outperform a lot of them.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Leka Halasema's next, 502k, 13% owned. I was very high on him originally. These trial teams have just sort of done a head in with him. being chucked around everywhere, which just makes me feel like he'll probably start on the bench to start the year. They're probably going to have Capewell
Terrible.
there for some unknown reason. Halasima, for mine, is screaming for this chance to play almost 80 minutes on the edge each and every week. Don't know why they haven't pulled the trigger this off season. One of the great mysteries, I think, for at the moment, especially with their halves issues that they've got now. You want these guys who can break open a game and doesn't need a guy to put him through a hole. He can do it himself, which I just love about Lekar. So, unfortunately, I don't think he's a play yet, Jesse. But yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye because I do want Lekar at some point in this season. I just want to own him because I think it's going to be a heap of fun.
Yeah, it is a good watch. Really, really good watch. Just, like we don't have Eli Katoa this year, and I watch this guy and I'm like, it's just Eli
Next best
Katoa
thing.
2.0,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, it's so fun to watch him. I drafted him actually in another one of my comms just to have him,
Me
honestly.
too.
Like, I just got him. I was like, if he gets a run, an 80-minute run consistently, I can see those mid 60 averages going right up. Yeah, I just think it's a risky pick in Classic. It's
Yep,
a risky one.
absolutely.
500k, Lukey's 100k less. And even if they're both off the bench, I still think Lukey can do more off the bench
Yep.
at 100k less. Yeah, it's a risky pick. Starting spot for sure. I think it's all gone ahead. This is a good pick.
Come on, Andrew Webster. Just throw a curveball right at the end and just go, now he's starting. We didn't want to waste him during the trials,
Yeah,
please.
no sounds.
Paddy Carrigan already spoken about. Angus Crichton, 610k. I feel like it's fallen away as the sort of time has gotten closer to the season start. He's now only at 10% ownership. I remember when we first did the Roosters season preview podcast, guys, go check them out. We've done all the teams already. So if you're looking at your team, you'll know to get checked out and more detailed. It's obviously probably changed now slightly with the numbers system and stuff like that, but it's all very good, relevant data still. We all, I think, had him in our team at one point. I don't have him anymore. I've gone away from him.
Yep.
I don't want to watch how this whole halves pairing happens for the Roosters and what it means for Angus Crichton. I'm not doubting him at all. I think he'll still have a very, very good season. I just want to see what's going to happen is all.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
He's
Have
either
you
going
got
to
him?
play outside of DCE or Sam Walker. Like, he's going to be fine.
Not
The
bad.
combination is fine. I don't doubt him at all. I think with the scoring system change, a lot of people moved from
Gone down.
him just to Yo, right next door. What, $200 difference? It's just safer. I think it's more of a safety Sam pick than anything else. I think Crichton can go higher than Yo can. I just think Yo's going to do it more often. So, don't hate the pick at all. I did draft him on Sunday, I believe, in another one. So I'm picking these dudes that I just enjoy, watching. And he's gone next year. That's another thing to just consider. How much does he do this year, considering he's off to Union after this one? So it'll be a good fun time to have him. It's the last time you're going to have Angus Crichton. If you want to just get him and have him for the long term, and or at least get him in at some point this year, and just say you had him for his last year and see how he's performing. If it's good, yeah, he's one of the best there is. So I like Crichton. I just at the moment I've got Yo, and it's genuinely right next door. So things can change.
You'll have either him, Crichton, Murray, or Yo in there.
I don't know if I'll
That's
have Murray up in there, but I could definitely switch
you're
over to
looking at. Yeah.
Crichton. Yeah, for sure. I think just the 10% ownership too is really nice. The second row forward situation for the Roosters is a bit funny at the moment because Nat Butcher's also thrown himself into contention.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about Nat
Wong's
Butcher.
back on the bloody bench.
What's
Lock,
going on?
bench, whatever it is. Like, seriously, this guy, once again, is another one. I just think, chuck in the 80-minute spot and just let him go, please.
I know. So
he has freak written all over him.
Yeah. Oh well.
CY Wong.
What do you do?
Okay. James Walsh, the next one. He's there, 9% owned, 201. 2RF centre wing dual. He's there, obviously, the Nuff. He's been injured now out of the year. But my thing on this, Jesse, I know there's a few people out there that are so confident, like, yeah, easy, done, boom. I don't quite like it just because I'm in both positions now. There's a lot of good options that I just want to be making a bit of money in these positions at the moment. So I don't like having enough in either of those positions at the moment because it's stacked.
Yeah, I'm not putting enough in centre wing.
Yeah.
Not to start the year, where centre wings make traditionally the most coin out of anyone.
And there's some really good options at the
Heaps of
moment.
good. Yeah, there's a lot of good options. They could really fizzle up, like we're looking at Faimani to not File anymore, definitely not. I'm looking at Macassini getting that starting spot with Skelton's injury. This isn't a centre wing episode, but there's a lot of value in these centre wing cheapies at the moment for what it appears will start. Same thing with 2RF. I don't think there's definitely no 201k 2RFs. Cooper buys the cheapest one you're going to get, and I don't back his prospects maybe until later in the year when things kind of open up for him. The next one up, really, it's going to be Lasardi Paxton. Like if Lasardi or Paxton is your second row 5 or 6, or 5 and 6, then you've got a pretty stacked second row. Because then I'd imagine that, your number 4 guy is probably in the Lukey category of price point, 400, and then everyone else is a pretty good gun for feeder and then 2 more weapons or something. It's like, who are you dropping to get a 201k nuff? And like, I don't mind the dual. I think the 2RF CTW dual for enough is really handy because you could get out of one of these center wings.
That's
That
what I'm
peak.
thinking.
You can get
That's
out of
what
a
I want to
center
save
wing.
him for.
Yeah, well, you could do that and have, instead of having to trade to him to facilitate a trade and bank coin, maybe you go, all right, well, I've got a front row jewel that I can move into another second row jewel, and I can move him down into my center wing. So then that's your avenue to get a Terrell May in your team. You know what I mean? Just by moving these jewels down. If you have a center wing that pushes, 600k and you want a Terrell May, put Walsh into your center wing, move your Mooney down into your 2RF. Now you've got a position available. That's the way I look at these jewels for nuffs. And I think, what can I use this for? Which is why I really like a bridge between the top of the group and the bottom when you look at your team. Once you get past the 2 halves, your forwards and your centers. Like if you can do something that goes up and down, like a Bo Fermor or Lucas from last year, something like that, it's really valuable and it saves so much dicking around. So yeah, his position is my favorite for the nuff, but I don't want him right now at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. Jacob Preston, 684k, 8% owned. No doubting at all that he's a gun. He's going to be another great year, but I don't know. It's just sort of is the price point at the moment. He's just sort of
Yeah, it's expensive. 684. Like for 684, I'm getting Tino.
yeah. I agree.
That's the only reason I'm not looking at too much at him. I think he's still an elite forward. He's in the 2RF. He's going to be probably one of the best.
Yeah.
He always finds a way, man. He's really good for a try. Preston. I think it's kind of necessary for him to get that average. He does score quite a few tries. Without him, it's a 50, 55. With a try, it's 70, 80 plus. So, yeah, I just think price tag wise, give me Tino instead.
Yep. Hamish Stewart, 402k, 8% owned. I currently have him.
Do ya?
Yes, but I was nervous because I seen Hame Sele gets this lock spot. That's what I was banking on. I thought he was like a lock for the lock spot.
Seemed like it.
I don't know what's happening now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sele, unfortunately, with that head injury, we're wishing him the best. I don't know what if he actually got on the plane or not. I'm assuming he probably will be. But yeah,
I've sort of gone cold on him.
Yeah,
I like Hamish Stewart, but I've definitely gone cold on him. I did
Yep.
toss him around in my team for quite a while, but yeah, I just think just the way that the Dragons are sort of lining their forwards up and stuff, I'm just not really backing it too much. If he's not guaranteed a lock spot, he'll be playing 40 odd minutes off the bench. It's at his price point already, so yeah, there's not a lot of upside in him anyway. Even if he is starting lock, I think you're kind of just getting it's almost plotter territory.
I'm with you.
Or a very slow
I'm
burn.
very much probably keen to get off there. The next two, it pains me to see him here, but I just have a soft spot for both. Hudson Young and Aaron Clark, 754k for Young, 671k for Clark, both at 7% ownership. Obviously, were guns last year. I had him in my team for quite a while. I was very happy with him. I don't have either of them, and
Pricey.
yeah.
Pricey, yeah. Hudson Young is going to. I think Hudson Young will probably be ended up being, one, if not top 3 best second rowers again this year. I think he's just that friggin' good. Strange will be switching sides by all report too, so that kind of hinders him a little bit. I would say, if Sanders is going to be playing on the left. Don't know if this has any legitimacy or not, but it seems to be just, gospel at the moment that Strange is switching sides. So, yeah, look, if it's gonna it's gonna do bad things for him. Potentially, he's not gonna have his guy next to him, but I still feel like he can do so much. He's so explosive, like
Yeah.
he can break the game open. That's the kind of player Young is. You're not just getting your base numbers and you're not just plodding away and getting a happy 60 score. Like you watch that game, what was it? Was it the Sharks game where it was like the 79th minute? They were down in Canberra and he's just
Oh
broken the
yeah.
line, ran the whole field,
So
basically
give me
just
the ball,
created
I'll do it.
everything. He's like, yeah, just give it to me. I'll do it myself. And he did. And you're
Yeah.
like, shit, man, this is the caliber of this kind of player. And at that average and that price tag, like you are getting that for it. And 7% ownership is very low. And once again, I don't think it gets much higher.
Yeah. No, I agree. And then because it's also that weird point where you'll go, oh yeah, I'll get him a bit later on, but then all of a sudden
Never
Origin's around
happens.
the corner, and you're like, oh no, I better not because he's going to be missing for my team for a
Yeah,
couple
and
of
then he's
weeks.
got
So,
like late buys and stuff, like real late buys. I think around 24 or something
mm,
too. So it's just in a weird spot where you'll want him. Oh, sorry,
correct.
26. Round 26 is his buy. So he's got one right at the death.
Mm,
Obviously, there's a
yeah.
long time till the second last round, but it's just
Finals.
it's draft final.
Yeah,
It's literally the
that's
draft final for a lot of people. So just be careful drafting your Raiders.
no, get
Um,
him in.
yeah, get your Raiders. All pick them first, every one of them.
Anyone
Um,
in our keepers league, get him in.
yeah, probably would.
Uh
Aaron
Jermaine
Clark.
McEwen for. Oh, sorry, you want to get Aaron Clark?
Yeah, look, it's the same thing, really. 671. It's just a lot of coin, and he had his best year by some margin. Can he do that again? Like he's going to get an increase on average because of
Mm,
the tackle points and all the other little bumps that everyone got. But he's priced accordingly, I would say, or even overs, because
yeah,
I still feel like there's going to be some sort of regression. There's too many weird things happening at the Warriors with their halves now, so the forwards are going to have to really stand up. Otherwise, they've got nothing. It's a good sign for him in general if that's how the Warriors will have to work. But how much more could he possibly do than he did last
yeah.
season? Like nothing.
Yeah, I don't think so. Jermaine McEwen, 407K for the night, 6% owned. I think it's just everyone's hoping that he gets this edge spot that is vacant.
Mm,
Can't keeps popping up though, and it's
yeah.
got a lot of super coaches work because McEwen's ownership was a lot bit higher than that for a long time. I think everyone's starting to cool, going, oh no, it's not quite happened.
No, it hasn't. I was very high. He was my favorite 400k second rower.
Yeah,
Out of all of them, I liked him more than Lukey before the trials started. But yeah, look, it's just if he gets that starting back row spot, he averages base and power. He averages 50 from looking at what it was last season. So he's already underpriced 100k off his base and power. Just if he gets the start in that second row position, playing 75, 80 minutes as he did last year. So just mirroring what happened already, awesome.
yeah.
But Thomas Kant keeps popping up. And it's like, go away, man.
What can't he do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just let us have McEwen. They're both good. Like if he gets the favoured spot and it's 80 minutes for him, like I remember Kant was awesome as well, and it was a good little draft pickup for a plug and play. But it does make him a more viable option at his price tag too. But I just think McEwen's good. He can do a lot more. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just kind of steering off him until we have a
yeah.
bit more clarity.
I'm going to scroll down a little bit here to Hamola Olakawatu, 650k, 5% owned. He's an interesting one, Jesse, because
Mm.
I'm sure he's probably coming back. He's fully fit and things like that. I do just want to see how he. I believe he will be with Fogarty, if I've got it correct.
Yeah.
I just want to see how that combination is going to go to start with. A little bit too expensive for Mo, like coming back from a big injury as well, when there's some other really good options.
Yeah, 650. There are a lot of good options. They've got a buy in round three as well. My least favorite round to buy in. So I think just with that alone, it just deters me from a
Yeah,
few Manly guys in general. I like Kawatu's top tier when it comes around to it, but he will have a new halfback. Um, Things are changing at Manly, and I feel like it's easy to just let him go to start with. You don't have to worry about a price change. If he looks really good in the first 2 rounds, get him in round 4. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you've got yourself an extra week to do it. But yeah, without DCE, it's a big change. Like changing halfback is just it's such an adjustment. You know what I mean? It's such a style change as well, and just natural flow of footy. But um, yeah, big injury too. Hey, dislocated shoulder
Yeah.
or something a couple times, and
Yeah.
just wasn't happening for him. But yeah, hopefully it's all sorted. Those things can hang about for a while.
Yeah. A couple down as well. Tallis Duncan, 595K,
Oh,
4% owned. I was just looking at some of the scores last year. Do
so
you know
good.
he actually had 5 scores over 100 last year?
Yeah,
He was a freaking gun.
yeah, and I had
It's
him.
just,
Well, not in classic. I had him in draft. I played him for every one of them.
oh,
Mate, it was insane. People messaged me like, "Why are you playing Duncan this week?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." 113 points later. Just thank you very
that's
much.
why.
That's why.
What a gun, man.
Dude, freak, man. So good. He's so good. And like 595. The only thing that I'm like, oh, is it Duncan season still?
The edge,
They've got
left edge.
Fafita now. Like they've
Yeah.
got Latrell in the centers on the other side. Like it's just got so much. Got Murray back too. So there's so many more avenues of points.
Yeah.
It's like, is Duncan going to be doing what he did last year? I can't see that happening. But the fact that it happened, I love it enough to just
Yeah.
humor it a little bit. Yeah, because what was it? Yeah, round 15. So round 14, 70 points. Then he went 113, 63, 134, 105. Like that
That's
5 week
insane.
stretch is just immense. And then later in the season too, there was still more 60s, and then another 105, another 115 the week after. Like Duncan ended up rising up so much in cash that I think at one point in time he was the most expensive 2RF in the game. When I was looking at him all, he was dearer than Hudson Young. He was dearer than everyone in that position. Yeah, he peaked 746. It must have been that round that he'd done it in, round 20,
Yeah.
after all those big games. But yeah, he ended at 718. He started the year at well, actually at the lowest. He dropped into the like mid 300s.
Yeah.
Imagine getting on him then, mate.
Oh.
The guy's a freak. He changed so much, but yeah, it was a
Just the
huge
edge, just
average
that
for him.
big edge. We know it's going to be all left edge for the Bunnies. It's going to be about how much football he does get. Because I'm sure, like, he won't need much football. He will still be an absolute gun, and he will take any opportunities he gets this year.
Yeah.
It'd just be about how limited does he get, unfortunately. But
Mm.
he's actually the one that I keep looking at, going, I'm just so tempted. I actually kind of want to
Yeah,
buy into it.
I could
So
roll. I could play the dice on Tallis Duncan.
yeah,
I feel good about it too.
yeah, he's my
Yeah,
low own percentage play. I'm feeling
but
at the moment.
you'll have both second rowers from the Rabbits.
Yeah.
I hate that. Yeah, it's a hard play.
Britton Nakora below this 570K, 4% owned. Just a quick question for you on him. I don't want to get too deep with him. Do you reckon he's back?
He's back.
Do you think he's back?
What do you mean by back? Where's
You know
he
how
gone?
he used to be that guy who was just he could just produce. I feel like last year he was like it was a lull for Britton
Yeah, it was a
Nakora. He
big
just
lull.
never quite hit anything. So I just reckon. Do you reckon he's got that 11 jersey back? It's a lock on, and then which does that mean we've got the Britton Nakora back of old? Now he's eligible to play for Queensland as well. Could push him further, especially to start the year well.
Mm.
I think there's
Yeah,
um
I can justify a $570,000 start for Britton Nakora for sure.
yeah okay.
Especially he's playing Titans in round 1.
Mm.
Like it's probably the best matchup you can go for. Nakora, going back a couple of years, was pretty much like top 5 in the 2RF position consistently too.
Yeah.
For attacking second rowers and try scoring runners, I think he's the best.
Yeah.
Really good price
Wow.
tag. Really,
Yeah.
really good price tag. Yeah.
One final one I want to talk about, which I feel like is the last sort of must talk. Dylan Lucas, 744K, down at 3%.
It's too much.
Well, I think in the power rankings that you guys got together, he's like ranked 2.
Yeah, he'd be a 1 or 2.
It's just 2. Very expensive, but he's a gun.
He's a
Just
gun.
can't pay that for a Knights back rower at the moment when they just look how they did on the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, we haven't seen him, but
Not
even if
him, but
they're
just the Knights.
well, just the Knights. But that's the thing. The Knights look like dog's breakfast last year.
Yeah,
He's the outlier. He can just get it done. And that's why he's going to be so good. If he's that good in a bad team, imagine if they get better. You have to expect he's on the end of it too. I think he is. He's in the top three. I think you're going to start seeing, Dylan Lucas topping the charts for a lot of these seasons. It's just he can catch an injury here and there, and his average is very high because he didn't play as many games as others. But he only played 13 games last season,
yeah,
and he had 2 injuries in that year. One of them kept him out for most of it. Yeah, I'm a big Dylan Lucas fan. It's just a lot of coin, isn't it? Like it's
yeah. It is.
745. You're cutting down somewhere. Like you're playing a center wing for cheapie. As a starter. That's the only way I can make sense of going that expensive in a 2RF. Early on, anyway. You
I
have to
don't feel
cull
comfortable
somewhere.
doing that.
Neither do I. If it comes down to it, where I'm like, look, I'm gonna play Setu 2 in round 1, and I'm going to have Makasini, Chester, and Faimani. And you want all the cheapies in the world, and you can bank that coin. I can see that. I can make sense of it. But I still don't like it. Because I
Yeah,
think you can definitely get him. You can definitely get onto him later on. Um, and I don't feel like he's going to be the guy that kills you to start either. Like as good as Dylan Lucas is, you're not going to get left behind not having Dylan Lucas for the first couple of weeks.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Anyone around him that you feel like it's relevant to talk about, or I'm going to scroll down a little bit because there's a guy that is looking at me and I feel like it's a talking point.
So Jack Williams.
No, but if you
Okay.
want to talk about him, it's after
No.
him. So if you want to talk about Jack Williams, go ahead.
I just think like there's obviously a lot when we spoke about Hopgood, a lot of mouths to feed there, but very, very good numbers on the edge. It just depends on minutes. Um, Super low ownership. I'm sure his ownership's dropped massively. 2%, I'm certain it was higher than that at one point.
Mm.
But yeah, 6-10. That's what I thought you were talking about, to be honest. So who have you got?
No, and just quickly on him, I'll be shocked if Jack Williams plays anything under seriously about 70 minutes at this rate. I think he'll be almost a
Oh
lock in
yeah,
for that edge and
for sure.
start to work some wonders, whether it's with Peasant or Moses. They can both do great things with their edge back rollers. We know that. I was going to talk about Morgan Knowles at 400k just quickly. There's talk he's obviously the lock for the Dolphins while there's some injuries, but I have heard recently that apparently Maxi Platt is not that far away. There was talk that he was,
Hmm.
like 5 or 6 at some point. I've heard he's actually edging pretty close to round one's pushing it, but 2 or 3 is not out of the
Wow.
question for Max Plus out of the blue as well, which is
Hmm.
crazy. That will help him because they've obviously got no Jeremy Marshall King for a number of weeks now. But starting lock 400k Englishman, he's
Love it.
not on my radar. I don't personally have him and haven't looked at him, but I know there's some pretty decent raps on this guy.
Yeah, there is. All I know about Morgan Knowles is what I have seen on YouTube,
Yeah.
and there is a
He
bit
actually
of that.
sent the clips through.
Yeah, I
He
did.
doesn't do that, guys. He actually never does this either. And there was the other day, it just pops up. I'm like, Jesse sends all this highlight package. I better watch it because he doesn't do this. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
looks good, but
Yeah.
I suppose it's easy to highlight someone, but they're highlights for a reason. He's got it in his repertoire. I like it. I think at 400, with Lukey and stuff around him, I kind of just want to go, give me Lukey. I've been asking for it for 2 years at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, if Morgan Knowles is a much more fancy pants glorified version of Smithies, I'll still take it.
Yeah.
Ripped his whole face open in that trial. Bet he was seeing red.
Yeah. And I love that more. I love the fact that he did that
Yeah,
because I'm like, he's just a goer. He's just going to get in there and just
yeah.
tackle his ass off as well. So
Want that
that's
dog.
the thing that actually got me a bit more. I was like, oh, okay.
Mm.
I'm feeling this.
Yep.
Well, Joe Chan, just quickly, 309k. We just spoke about, obviously, for Lasardi's side of it, but if he is locked in for that more safer role, which looks to be the Katoa edge, working with Hughes, I don't mind him at 309k, but it's just, again, it is that risk factor about how long is he there, but it is the safer edge to be on because Bloor will return at some point. We know Katoa's out for the year from what we've been told, so
Yeah.
309K for Joe Chan if he's consistently working with Hughes and that combination is getting stronger and stronger each week. I don't mind it.
Didn't Joe Chan start left edge last year before Blore took his spot off him anyway?
Maybe.
Well, why else did you
He's
have
on the
Joe
other edge
Chan?
now.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you can't just keep flip and flop back and forth and say he's safer on one side because he's named in a trial.
I'm
Like,
saying, well, no, what I'm saying is, so Katoa's, we know
I
Katoa's
know
out for the year.
Katoa's gone, but last year when Blore was out, Joe Chan was
Yes.
on the left, and then he did everyone dirty, and he got benched.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't look into the one side or the other. I think the issue with it is that if you've got Lasardi there, and the plan is that this one of these two is going to be playing in Katoa's position for the season, then yeah, Chan named on that side is like, oh, okay. But just looking at what Chan's done in the past, he's been moved from the left to the right, to the left, to the
Center.
centers, to anywhere that they can plug a hole with.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think Joe Chan's the answer. I also don't think Lasardi's the answer. He could be.
Mm.
I just feel like they're going to trial and back and forth until they find some kind of combination that they are happy with. And I don't feel like either of them are going to be the safer option. Come round one, if Joe Chan's named and Lasardi's on the bench, I reckon you see that ownership probably swing quite heavily back the
Yeah.
other way. It's obviously not going to be a 48-1, to Joe Chan and vice versa, but it's going to be tricky. Like, people are already stretching their teams within a couple of K. It's like, if you've got Lasardi, are you dismantling your team just to get Joe Chan in?
No.
Absolutely not. I think at that point you just go somewhere else. You go down. Well, if you don't have Paxton, you should. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, just kind of prepare for the worst, but yeah, it's going to catch a lot of us out.
Yeah. If the combination starts to develop nicely, I'm very much going in. Shout out quickly to the 1% of you out there who own Eli Katoa at 728K because I think it's a very sentimental pick. I love it. So well done to you.
Good
I
vibes.
think we all wish right now we could be starting with him because I think we all would be.
Just need
Even
it.
at that price, it would be
Yeah,
fantastic.
100%.
Matty Nicholson's flown under the radar here. He's 1%. I know a lot of people out there, not a lot, obviously not a lot, but from who I speak to and seen some of your teams and stuff, have had him in quite recently, 611K. It's looking closer and closer as if he is getting that edge spot.
Hands
It looks
down.
like Hosking's getting that more middle role now. Probably start off the bench, come on and play that role. So Nicholson, look out.
Yeah, come on down, Nicholson. He's very well keeping my
1%.
2RF warm in 2 drafts. I've gone all in on Nicholson. Maybe I'm the only person that just sees it no-brainer that he's the starting right edge. Maybe it's me just being delusional, but I think he's the best one they've got on that side. Like, I know Hosking's really good. I think
Yeah.
between the three of them, Hosking, Nicholson, and Young, that's like the deadliest trio of second row options that any team has. But yeah, man, he's a weapon, and he gets a massive increase in these new scorings. Massive. He's one of the highest second rowers by just uptick on average out of every one of them, and he'd still average over like 60.
Yep.
Talking about these other little bench dudes that get an extra 5 or 6 points. Like, he gets more than that. I think he gets like a +8 on his average. So, yeah, Nicholson at basically Yo and Crichton's price, basically the exact same, the three of them, except you want to just tack on another 8 onto his average. It puts him just under 700 possibly. Like, yeah, I think Nicholson's a really good option. The risk is there, apparently. I don't think there is, personally. I think he's going to be best part of the full game on the right edge. With Strange on his side too, I'm very, very tempted. I'm very keen on him, and I took him in 2 drafts. So I'll at least get a fix somewhere.
I don't think you're delusional. What I am a little bit worried about from his point of view, though, is the fact that I just don't think Hosking played badly last year. So I don't think it warrants
Never
dropping.
has.
Like, he's been very good.
Yeah.
And I actually do like the fact that he started last year and then would move into the middle. And from a Raiders point of view, I like that from Nicholson in terms of maybe starting him on the bench and come on with, I don't know, 30 to go and run an absolute muck. And he would do that. That wouldn't be great for Supercoach. That would be awful for Supercoach, but it'd be great for the Raiders as a whole. I think NRL point of view would be perfect. I'm just curious to see it. Obviously, it's a TLT watch if he does get that edge spot. I think that 1% ownership will go up a bit further because we know what he can do. He's just a freak. So
Yeah. He's good.
Keep an eye
And
on
he
it. You're not
loves to
delusional,
try, man.
Jesse. Not at
Nah,
all.
I don't think so. If I am, I've just wrecked 2 drafts. So,
Okay, you
whoopsies.
are. Well
Ah,
done.
it's not the end of the world.
I'm pretty much happy to say we've done this. So
Yeah, man.
no one else it's
Look,
jumping
we
out at
could be
you.
here all day, man. There's that many options. And I
There
think just with
really is.
everyone, like, honestly, like with the news that Reece Robson's got himself a bloody broken hand, Connor Watson's, possibly an option, but he could be an option at hooker. You've got, far out, just roll through the list. There's so many you could plug and play with. But
We've
for,
spoken about before how underrated Jaden Sewer is, like things like that. Like, and he's literally sitting at 0%.
yeah, Kurt
It's
Donahue,
just,
get himself a
oh,
duel soon when he gets his hooker position. If Plath isn't too far away, maybe Donahue's not long for this world either. Um, Gilbert 460, Randall 456 with a lock spot. Like you can really deep dive into all of these sort of things, but ownership paints a pretty relative picture.
mm,
Um, Turef's going to look like a pretty good position, and I think it's one of those ones that, for me anyway, I don't know if a lot of people doing the same. It's been so different.
mm.
It's been so different. I want to put money into it, and then I pull like 400k out of it if I need to do something else. It's one of those ones where I go into it thinking I don't want to get sucked into this mid-range again. I do it every year, like just give me 1 or 2 guys at a top price so I can at least bail out if I need. But
Mm.
I find myself with Fafita as my most expensive again, and I'm like, God, I'm doing this freaking 400k
We're
2RF
back.
again every year. It's the same thing. Um,
Oh.
so yeah, I'm trying to find good value in some of these guys, and now the fact that everyone's got this tackle increase and run potentially increase, it's like they're all good value
Yeah.
for their current price tag, all of them. Just some are better than others, and I think look at the role change more than anything. You'll probably find some better value there, and just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks for the beginning of the season.
Yeah, there is actually there's some really good lower percentage owned players as well in this
Mm,
position. So it is a position where if you do want to try and find some ways to go different to the crowd, there is a number of players that I've just quickly skimmed over,
yeah,
and so did you, Jesse.
you
Even the
can pot
1%, 0%, things like that, like they're actually decent options. So have a look, and it is a position where I think there could be some big differences to start the year with people just seeing a little bit outside the box, which we love. We obviously love to do those pod episodes and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. That's
Yep.
wrapped it up. The big boys, we thought it would be a bigger one. Luckily, it was only the 2 positions. We've almost gone longer than we did for last week's 3 player positions. So it
Very
was always
relevant.
going to happen. So
Yep.
that is it for our positional, all wrapped up and done. Thank you for all the support for watching. Add in your comments, your questions, like, subscribe, follow the social media pages. You know everything by now. Rating as well. If you're listening on podcasts, scroll up, please. Scroll up to, especially on Spotify, hit those 5 stars. It does help the page. It's free. Go out to as many people as possible. But thank you, Jesse. It's been a fun one. Been a
Mm.
fun series. We'll be back next week where we'll probably have 20 changes to our team again, and we'll release a few things. But
Yeah.
footy is just around the corner. Next week we'll be doing it in its Vegas team list Tuesday. So thank you guys. We will see you again shortly. Bye bye.